Happy Valentine's month.
Oh, actually, that week is Valentine's.
Next week is the week after.
Oh, and yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Friendship.
Yes, happy
Friendship Day.
Yes.
Happy month of love.
Yay.
Don't let February just be your month of love. Let every month be your month.
Why
of
ending
love. Let it always be love.
Yes. Tell the people.
Yes.
Don't wait for only us.
And please, anybody that's looking to take Ruth out for Valentine's Day, send applications to me.
Yes, please. Talk to my manager.
I'm vetting.
Tell to my manager.
And yes, so if you don't know God, first of all, don't apply.
You're disqualified. Just stay at the back of it.
Lane.
Yes. Hello, people. Today I have my friend Afia with me, a very good friend of mine. And she's actually a client turned friend. So how I met Afia, I met her through Lori. Lori sent me to do her makeup. That was how many years ago? Like 4 years ago. Wow. And the journey has brought us here. So today we are going to talk about loving your journey. In the era of seeing people posting, updating their life everywhere, sometimes you wonder what's happening with my life, and you might end up falling in the trap of comparing yourself to others, or thinking there's nothing going on for you, feeling that maybe you're stagnant, or comparing yourself to people you shouldn't even be comparing yourselves to. So today we are just going to discuss basically how to stay in your lane, enjoy the journey, while you look forward to your expected goal in the future. Okay, so Afia, tell us about yourself.
Hi guys. Second time on your channel.
I know.
So big deal. So my name is Afia. Like Ruth has said, we are client and makeup artist and friends. So this is fantastic.
I spoke with Afia on last year's Goal for Change project, where we were talking about premature births and all the issues surrounding it. And she gave a lot of exposition on the subject. And the reason why I invited her for this subject was because she was making some profound statements about how the process actually and the journey is what should be enjoyed more than waiting for the end goal. Is that correct? Yeah. So that is why Afia is back to talk about this whole journey thing. I feel like she's the best person to talk about the subject. Yes, because she has so much to share. So I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Yes. So for every episode I have 4 questions for whoever comes on the set here. So my first question to you is, has there been a point in your life where you wondered where you are in your personal journey in life and felt a lack of direction or purpose? Have you ever felt that way? And what was happening in that space?
Yeah, very much so. I think it's not something that is uncommon.
Okay.
The first time that I had those feelings of wondering, where am I, what am I doing? Probably after I'd written my A-levels.
Okay.
Waiting to go to university. You're waiting for those results and you have all these plans and you think, okay, am I going to go? When I get there, what's it going to be like?
Yeah.
Am I going to be like everybody else that's there? So the anxiety that comes with uncertainty is something that I think we will all experience, or I certainly have experienced, not once, not twice, but at every stage in my life, I have felt that anxiety about myself, my place, my journey. I think what has made it easier is growing up as a Christian.
Wow.
And I won't say, when I say growing up, I don't mean, having been brought up as a Christian, but growing myself as a Christian.
Maturity.
And exactly. My own journey with God has made a huge difference in me finding contentment in the journey. Having an uncommon relationship with God, or having a stronger relationship with God, brings you to a place where you start to rely on Him a bit more, because you understand the length and breadth of, when they say the alpha and omega, they're just words that we use, but actually the gravity of it is so much more
enormous.
Exactly.
Wow.
So once you start to understand that, I think, for me, I feel I've come to learn more about myself, more about being okay, regardless of what what the world says or what is going on.
Wow. Wow. So is there maybe one instance in your life where you felt this way, like anxious, nothing is happening, lacking purpose or direction? Is there any one instance you remember, and what did you do in that moment?
I'll give the example of when I left my first job after university. First of all, after university, I was the eternal student, so I just kept going back to school and going back. It frustrated the hell out of my parents. But when I eventually started applying for jobs, I sent out over 600 job applications.
600?
Yes. And the job I eventually got, I interviewed there 12 times.
Are you serious?
Yes, before they gave me the job. So having been there for 4.5 years, I felt that I was stagnating, and I also felt that this was not where I was supposed to be.
Right.
I discussed it with my parents, and they were like, "You're not happy, you're not content where you are, but nobody leaves the job without
having another year in the pipeline
to go to." So we talked about it for about 6 months. And then eventually, end of June of that year, I decided, without telling them, that I was going to write my resignation and hand it in. At that stage, I had really started to build a relationship with God.
Okay.
I fasted for a month. And on the last day of the fast, I went and handed in my resignation.
Without any job in line, any new job in line?
Nothing in line. I came and I sat back at my desk, and the first thing that I thought was, what have you done? Like, what
did you just do?
What have you done? What have you done? I sat at the desk for about 5 minutes, and I thought, okay, go and get some water and clear your head. And just as I was getting up, I got a phone call at my desk. It was a client of mine calling. And he just called to say, we're going to be in London for some meetings in September. So we just want to make sure you're not on holiday by the time we come.
Okay.
And I said, actually, I won't be here because I just handed in my resignation. And he said, are you serious? And I said, yeah. And he said, okay, I'll call you back. So I said, okay. And I got up. I went to go get my cup of water, and I came and sat back down. When I sat down, the phone rang again, and I picked it up. And it was my client's boss. Okay. And he said, I've just been told that you have leaving. Handed in your resignation. I said, yes. And he said, so what are you doing? And I said, I don't have anywhere to go at the moment, so I'm just going to find myself. And he was like, I'd like to make you an offer. Whoa. I'd like for you to come and work for
real.
Us.
Same day.
Same, like, this is within a half hour of me handing in my resignation. And I said, I'm not keen, but thank you for the offer. We talked, put the phone down. I really didn't think much about it again, and I went home. I came back into work the next day, and as I was walking in, the people at the front desk were like, you have a visitor. So I was like, where? And they said, he's sitting in the lobby. The guy had gotten off the phone with me, booked a ticket from Lagos, and flown to London to come and convince me to go and work with them.
Wow.
Yeah. So the point of me giving this example, a lot of things are happening everywhere around us. People are going through different things at different times, but it's all a journey. The one constant that you can have is God. and your faith in God and His ability to see you through whatever your journey
stage you're at
is.
Right.
Yes, it's not easy being on the journey, but I think we all have to come to a place where we can understand that the journey is the process.
Right.
And you have to learn to enjoy the process. Enjoy every step, every milestone, every failure, actually. Because no matter what the end result is, the journey is what will make you who you are.
Right.
At the end of the process. And you have to make sure you don't lose yourself. For me, that has been one of the things that has concerned me on the various journeys that I have been on. I have gotten to places where I felt like I'm so consumed with getting to the end that I lose who I am in the process.
Right.
And actually, who you are during the process, I think, is so much more important than who you are at the end of it, because the journey can either break you or it can build you. And if you allow the journey to break you, how much less will the end result be?
Yeah.
You know when people say, oh, what doesn't kill you will only make you stronger. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that. We like to think of the journey and then you get there. But actually, it's one day at a time, one experience at a time. And whether the experience is negative or whether the experience is positive, it is what you make it.
Yeah.
You know. So, I was reading something the other day. Deepak Chopra. The journey of love is the beginning, the middle, and end. It's all the same. You know, you can't.
It's not just about the end. Every
the
stage.
the journey of it is really what holds it all together.
Right.
And if you are only looking at the end, or you're constantly looking for the end result, you miss out on so much.
On Sunday, my pastor was speaking about time. At every point in time, you might be looking forward to something, or expecting something. So if you are not focused, you might miss out on opportunities around you. Just because you are looking for this one thing, you might miss out on whatever is happening around you, which could have been an opening for you. So have you had a well-drafted plan for your journey or your progress in life, and how has that plan gone for you? I remember a message from, I think, Bishop Dad's wife, Auntie Mame. She always used to say, oh, after school, I'll get a job, and I'll get married, and have 2 kids, and go on vacation. Like, we plan everything, like we know what is going to happen. So have you had a plan for maybe a certain period in your life before, and how has that plan gone for you?
I've had loads of plans. I'm one of these people that I like to organize not just my life, but probably the lives of everybody around me. So we're going to do this, and then after this we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Even when I have like a dinner party, I plan in my mind how we're going to enjoy the starters, and then when we finish, everybody's just going to have a little discussion about how beautiful it was, and then I'll serve the next course, and then we'll discuss that. It never works out that way. But I understand what you mean when you say like planning. I think the most apparent plan that I have had for myself, I would say, is my journey to motherhood.
Okay.
You get married, you get pregnant, you have a baby. That was the plan.
Yeah.
That was always the plan. And it didn't work out like that. It went not a straight line, not even like this. It was more like scribbles everywhere, there, here, up, down, roundabout, before you get to the end of, okay, here, you have a child. I think a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people have, where, okay, you are you are married, you want to have a kid, you do the do. 9 months later, here, surprise, it's a baby. That wasn't my journey. You know, I had what I will call lots of failures to the road to motherhood. And I can't sit here and lie and say it was this easy journey or this journey that I was just like, I'm so brave. And, you know, it was a difficult journey. It was a complicated journey. It was arduous, and I would say it's one of those plans and those situations that I found myself in, and it speaks to what I said before about losing yourself in the process. Because my process was 3.5 years long, and in those 3.5 years, it felt like an eternity. It felt like it was never going to end. And for the longest time, I was doing what I now advise people not to do, which was to just look at the end result.
Right.
But then I also had to wake up and be like, that's not working for me. You know, take your mind off the end result and appreciate the journey.
Where you are now,
Because in my journey, what I learned was I have an amazingly supportive support system. I learned that no matter what situation you're going through, you're not alone. I learned that there are more people that would go out of their way to help me than I ever thought before. And I learned so much more empathy.
And I'm guessing if you hadn't gone through the whole scribble thing, you wouldn't have known these things.
No.
If it was just straightforward, end results, you might not have known, you know, that there are these people around you, that you are this strong, that you can handle what is coming your way. You know? And I'm just learning so many things about taking care of yourself in the process. Because sometimes you're just focused on, I want this, I want that, I want to, you know, get to this point by this time. Yeah. But we are not in control of some of these things.
A lot of the things.
I know. And it's okay. I think that's one thing we are not told. That it's okay when there's nothing really happening in your space at a certain point in your life. Most of the time we're made to feel like there must be something happening. So maybe after school, you're not getting a job. It's like, you need to do something. People are starting jobs. Now you want to go and do a startup. People are getting married. It's like, there's no boy, Instagram, Bella Night. Everybody's getting married. Like, there's something happening at every point in time for somebody. So the moment nothing is happening in your space, you feel like you have to do something to, you know, like you shouldn't be idle. Yeah.
And I think, you know, like we were discussing before, I really think that there's a lot of our culture. That's where the pressure comes from, because we are configured to be born, go to school, after school get a job, after job get married, after marriage have children, after children look after the children, after looking after the children look after the grandchildren, after looking after the grandchildren then you die, and that's it. But life really doesn't work like that. My own experiences tell me that sometimes you have to just be okay and contented in just being.
Wow.
Knowing that the process is ongoing, but nothing specific or exciting is happening. But, you know,
wow,
you are, or as a Ghanaian will say, you are just there.
Wow, it's okay to be just there sometimes.
And it's okay. It's okay to just be there. It's okay. It doesn't mean nothing is happening. It just means that you are waiting and allowing the process to take, you know, its course.
Talking about waiting, what do you do while you wait? While you wait for the next thing you're looking forward to, and it's not happening. What do you do when you wait? Because maybe somebody would think we are saying be idle because we are saying it's okay.
No.
So what do you do in the period of waiting?
You prepare. You get yourself ready, because the journey, or let me call it the destination that you're getting to, whatever the destination is, you have to be ready for it. Because if you think about it and you even say, okay, let's take it that truly, as people think, the destination is this great big event. It's like you are going to a party and you know, okay, the party is happening on the 14th. The 14th comes, you know that party is happening at 1 o'clock. And then you're like, I'm going to this party. You haven't planned your shada. You haven't planned
your hair.
You haven't planned your hair. You haven't planned your swag. You haven't called withMaj to come and do your makeup.
Like
you haven't figured out whether you're going to go with Uber or you're going to go like by walking. There's no planning. You know, prepare yourself while you wait.
Right.
You know, and I think that a lot of times we forget that waiting sometimes, or a lot of the time, means that we have to start opening our minds. You know, people in their downtime don't try and expand themselves. I have an aunt who always used to say, you know, your single years are the most lucrative years of your life. Don't wish them away. I was like, yeah, you're married and you're happy, so that's what you'll tell me. But actually, being married now, I really do wish I'd spent more time doing things for myself and enjoying myself more. Because now, I just don't have the time for it, you know.
Yeah.
You wait over your journey and you prepare. You prepare your heart, you prepare your mind, you prepare your finances, you prepare everything for whatever the goal is.
Right. Like the past 2 weeks, my pastor has been speaking on time, opportunity, planning, like the same thing, you know, going round and round. And I feel like sometimes when he preaches those messages, I'm like, I hope people are listening. I mean, it's for me. I'm listening and I'm really taking this out, but I'm just hoping that other people, especially younger people, are listening, because for some of them, he's older and he always says that he wishes somebody told them these things, that have a plan, you know, prepare yourself for the next big opportunity, like it's going to get better, have a positive mind, all those things. Nobody told them. You must have a plan while you wait. You must prepare yourself, get ready, because it's going to happen. But if it happens and you're not ready, I don't know. Okay, so the last question. What do you do when you fall in the trap of comparing yourself with others who seem to have gone ahead of you, but nothing seems to be happening for you?
Wow. I think it's important to first of all understand that it's not a crime to see what is happening for other people and question yourself. It's not a crime. Everybody does it. Whether you do it on a big scale or you do it on a small scale, somehow, some way you will do it. Whether you are comparing, oh, so-and-so has got a degree, I don't have. So-and-so has got money, I don't have. So-and-so has started their church, I don't have. So-and-so is singing in the choir, I'm not there. You know, whatever it is, everybody will compare themselves to somebody at some stage. I think what is important is what you do with those feelings that you have. Because you can compare yourself to, for instance, somebody's Instagram post. Oh, she has made it. She's doing
living
this.
The
She's
life.
doing that, living the life. And I think nowadays, more than before, we are seeing those memes about comparatives, you know, living the Insta life, and then what is, you know, really happening on ground. So number one, don't always believe the hype. Even if you choose to believe the hype, use it to encourage yourself to say, if so-and-so has done it, I can also do it.
Right.
You know,
right.
They were not born with two heads. I can also aspire to achieve what somebody else is doing.
Right.
Just don't look at it and say, oh, look at what she's doing. Me, oh, my life, what's happening? Oh God, so me too. When will it ever happen to me? This morning I woke up and I saw a post from the Daily Mail, and they had talked about how a young boy woke up to a bank alert for £8.9 million in his account because the bank had made a mistake. There was an error. And somebody tweeted back and was like, oh God, is my cry not loud enough? And I go, this is it. This is what we talk about when we say, you're wanting what somebody else has. But their 8.9 million is going away. If you're looking for the 8.9 million, you have to be ready to do the work, But apart from the fact that a lot of the time it's just a hype, not a hype, but just a hype. Know and believe in yourself that you can achieve whatever it is that God has placed on your heart. The hopes and dreams that we have for ourselves, they don't just come out of anywhere. If God has put it on your heart that, this is your vision, this is what I can see for myself, then believe that He will make a way for you to be able to achieve it. If you prepare yourself, for the opportunities that He will put in your way. You can't sit down and, we're gone are the days. Manna is not falling from heaven at this point in time. Maybe it will come back again. But right now, we're working towards, and He will give you the creativity. He will give you the ideas and the strength to be able to do the things that you're supposed to do. Right. But, if you sit and you're like, oh, I saw this girl, if you see, she's so nice, holding Gucci bag. The Gucci bag no go cry, no. What did you do for her? You saw it and you wanted. You worked towards having enough to go and buy it.
Wow.
I really want to encourage whoever is out there that's really thinking that I'm looking around me and I'm wondering, when is it my turn? You have to be content in your waiting, because if you are content in little, you'll be content in much.
Right.
And be happy for people when people achieve those goals that be happy for them and know that if they can, you can too.
Right.
And it's so important because my mom always tells me of this friend of hers when she was growing up who was really struggling with having kids. She was so dejected about it, and it's kind of like her life almost stopped. And then she had a conversation with her mother, and her mom said, you know what, if God has said you're a mother, don't just think, when will I be a mother? Act like a mother. And she went out and she adopted some kids. No IVF, nothing. The woman had 4 kids in a row. Pam, 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 pam.
Wow.
Be who you believe God has said you are.
Yeah.
And as you are believing it and you are acting like it, you'll surprise yourself and see that you've actually become that which the goal that you thought you had, you are actually living it. And that the journey is what prepares you and makes you into what it is that you are looking for at the end.
Right.
And most of the time, if you do it right, you end up seeing that, in fact, the initial goal you had for yourself was so much less than what God had planned for you. So, enjoy it. Embrace the journey, embrace the situation, embrace the pain, embrace the failure, because failure is just another brick that you use to put down to climb over whatever it is to get to success. Embrace it all, the pain, the pleasure, the discomfort, the anxiety. Embrace it and know that it is part of the journey, and the journey will make you so much more.
Charlie, you need a pulpit. You need a pulpit. You said so many remarkable comments. So to anybody who has watched, I'm very positive that in the moment of waiting, you've got to understand it's a time to prepare. It's a time to get ready because it's going to happen.
Yep.
And it's really important that you are ready at the time that God is giving you or unleashing whatever you've waited and prayed for. And He will do it exceedingly abundantly above what you even thought or imagined that the final destination will be. Yep. He will exceed your expectations. So thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Yes, and we believe that someone has been inspired and encouraged. So on that note, peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.
Keep watching.
If you're thank
These are bloopers. Mwah.